thank you so much to everybody who's joining us or has already joined us this evening. Kind of get in the middle here. Monday night. Ooh. So, what a way to start the week out, right? Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Had a lovely Mother's Day to all the people out there who are mothers. I know we enjoyed our Mother's Day. Had both my kids home for the day and actually for the whole weekend. So that was great. So I hope you all had a great time and a great weekend. All right, so let's just start off with, who do we have in the house today? Looks like Pat and Jane, numero uno. Thank you for joining this evening. And Gary, right behind them. Gary, thank you for joining us from, is it raining up there in Tallahassee? What a weekend. I mean, really, what a past 3 days. It's been kind of crazy. I have my trusty radar here on my, looks like Tallahassee's kind of cleared up a little bit up there, Gary, but I think you got some coming on the way too. So, very wet Florida for sure, but we really needed the rain. I mean, I'm really happy to see that. I think after all this time, after this weekend, that we're getting caught up with our deficit of rain here. And that might just kick off the rainy season here. We'll see. Because a lot of times when we have a lot of rain like that, then the sun comes out, the humidity kind of blossoms more rain clouds. So anyways, typical Florida weather would be rain in the afternoon. Pretty much what happens is the sun comes out, beats down on the ground and kind of any moisture that's there kind of gets going on in the atmosphere, and then all this rain blossoms, and that's typically how it is here in Florida. So, but there's still a lot of rain, a big line of showers. But that's kind of off the coast now, so we'll see how that works for us. So what's happening in you all's world? So Becky, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And then Rich from Warminster, PA. Jane D. WFH today, so
Working
I'm not,
from home.
huh?
Working from home.
So I'm not late to the party. Good for you. That's great. But we start at 6 o'clock, so Jane, I'm hoping you're done by 5 anyways. So don't know how long it takes for you to get home, however. So anyways, let's see. So sorry, what's Gary talking about? All right, it rained earlier today and on and off yesterday. Man, it poured most of the day yesterday for me where I am. Let's see. All right, so let's go back. All my chats just jumped down to the bottom. So let me catch up here. So hey, Tammy, thanks for joining us this evening. I appreciate it. Gary, my first Mother's Day without Mom. Oh yeah. So sorry about that, Gary. That's always tough. I think a lot of us have probably gone through it already. I know I went through it early myself, so I can certainly empathize. Trish Navarro in the house with us. So thanks, Trish. Are you here in Florida or are you in Georgia? Ricky P, I'm working late. Have to catch rerun tomorrow. So, okay, Ricky, but thanks for dropping by anyways and saying hey. And so, yeah, go ahead and catch us on the rerun for sure. That's what it's all about. Windy as heck here in north central Montana. Okay. Not real familiar with Montana weather, except the winters. We know how cold they can be in Montana, I guess, right? Hello, Ira. Hi, Amanda, from beautiful 80-degree Michigan. You know, that's funny you say that because I was watching the news this morning, and they were saying it was 59 degrees around 8:30 this morning in New York City. So it's still kind of cool up there. But Michigan, 80 degrees, that's kind of a heat wave, isn't it, this time of the year? Rich A, going to be 5 days of rain. Wow, starting late tonight. Really? 5 days of rain in Pennsylvania? Let me take a look at what's going on up there. Because this whole line of showers seems to be up in your area. Looks to me like right now. I guess my geography isn't the best, so I have to kind of check the map here. So, Elizabeth Lorenzo, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So what are your thoughts on Scottish Highlands? Scottish Highlands. There are a couple highlands in this area. And I'm just wondering if this is the Scottish Highlands off of Radio Road. So, there we go. Is that on Radio Road? Off of Radio Road? Let's see. So, where's Radio Road anyways? I see. 441. And then you have Lake Eustis. And there's Canal Street. I used to have a listing on Canal Street. Where is Radio Road at? That's a major road. Maybe I need to go down. No, there's anyways, my experience with Scottish Highlands is that it's an older area with older homes that kind of need updating, is my experience with Scottish Highlands. So there is, oh, here we go. Okay, so no, there's Radio Road. So what are Scottish Highlands then is down here. And Scottish Highlands, Leesburg, Florida, on Main Street. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because we have Royal Highlands. Oh, this is Scottish Highlands. It looks like a storefront. Scottish Highlands, I know, it's off of Radio Road. Anyways, that is my experience with Scottish Highlands. It's right by the Leesburg Mall, right off of 441. And yeah, that's kind of what I know about Scottish Highlands. I haven't sold any homes in there. But I have taken people to look at homes over there. Okay, so, there's Racer Girl. So Renee, we did a little video for Renee, actually, just recently. And we did a video for Rick and Christine. And they made an offer. So if Rick and Christine are in the house, thank you for making an offer on a home today with me. Appreciate it. We went out over to Indigo East and did a video and sent it off, and we were able to make that offer. So there you go. So hey, Renee's ready to come. I know, we keep talking back and forth. She'll text me, kind of give me a progress as to how things are going for her there in California. So Glenn, hey Ira, can I send you a listing from Ohio just to show what $465,000 will buy here? We'll need an email. You can certainly do that. Email is easy. It's IRA, at imrealty.org, not .com, .org, or homesaroundthevillages@gmail.com. Both of them go to the same place. We have a few different emails that point to the same mailbox. So Ira at imrealty.org or homesaroundthevillages@gmail.com. Whichever you choose, it'll get to the same place. So, Glenn, feel free to send that along. I'm probably, where's it? Ohio. So, I would imagine from what I know about Ohio real estate, $465,000 will buy you a lot of home up there. Well, that's the way it used to be anyways. Not sure if it's still that way or not. So, first Mother's Day without Greg's mom. I lost my mama 10 years ago. Sorry. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, that is tough, you know. So, you know, we just have to kind of pick it up and just worship the one we're with on that day. It's kind of how we get through that. I lost my mom, about 30 years ago now. Yeah, maybe it's even longer than that. It's pretty tragic, but yeah, you know, that's, I guess you guys have had your moms, you know, a little bit longer, so it's kind of hard to talk on that subject, actually, you know. All we can do is just kind of put our arms around each other and, you know, life goes on. It's the way I had to kind of get around it myself. And I always told myself the good die young, too. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, Becky. So Radio Road is in Leesburg, runs right by the Leesburg Mall, or what used to be the Leesburg Mall. That thing's changed hands so many times. I don't even know what's in it right now. So Ghost Rider, the Ghost Rider has shown up. So I always think of Ghost Riders in the Sky by the Outlaws. Man, that's a great band. Anybody has heard that song. And one thing I really found out was Ghost Rider in the Sky was originally made by Johnny Cash. Should have made that a little quiz, see if anybody knew that Johnny Cash was the original writer of Ghost Riders in the Sky. Anyways, it's pretty cool version. It's not like the Outlaws, but so top of the evening to you, Missy Mo. I love that. All right, so Christian went ahead and put our emails in there for you. So thank you, Christian. So Ricky, Indigo East. Yeah. On to the pleasantries. Yeah, there you go. Oh, cool. So, I don't know, as many of you may or may not know, I'm trying to learn the guitar. I still am. I've even resorted to guitar lessons now. And so I have this old rock and roll guy. Man, you should see all the pictures in the room where we have our guitar lessons. And it's pretty funny the way he used to look to the way he looks now. But he still has a long ponytail, so he's still rocking. So it's a lot of fun. So what is Indigo East? Where is it? Well, asking you shall receive. We'll go to our matrix, right? And then we'll search and let me show you. It's a subdivision. Indigo East. What is that? Let me go ahead and let me put myself down here in the corner for y'all. There we go. So, Indigo East, and there's 16 matches. And let's see. So what I'm going to do, here are homes in Indigo East. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's go to the map. Here's the map. It's easier for me to show you guys what and where Indigo's East is as opposed to anything else. So this area right here is Indigo East. And where is it in relation to whatever? On top of the world. So this is Southwest 80th Avenue, and 80th Avenue runs all the way to 40, and it actually goes all the way to 27. 27 will take you where, Gary? To Tallahassee. So that's kind of what 80th is. And World Equestrian Center. You see this right here, this whole complex? That's World Equestrian Center. If you haven't heard of World Equestrian Center yet, it's a pretty awesome place. And I always suggest people go and check that out. It's kind of a tourist attraction now.
And check out our Christmas live stream from there.
Oh yeah, me and Christian did a Christmas live stream. Was it this past Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. So we have a little video of that. This area here is called Kalesa. So the developers of On Top of the World, which is down here, is developing Kalesa, and Kalesa is a family neighborhood. But they have a world-renowned, I'll say, indoor pool facility. I don't know if I see it on this map. Yeah, I think this is it here. 38th Street. This very well could be, yeah, probably indoor and outdoor. So this is probably the indoor facility. This is the outdoor facility where they do international swimming meets. So that's all over the world. They have their own charter school, kind of like the Villages, a little bit smaller, but this is Kalesa. And then across the street from Kalesa is Del Webb Stone Creek. And Stone Creek, Del Webb Stone Creek is kind of finishing up. This area here is even just about done. So they only have this area right here to go. And then they have another Del Webb started. Where do they have another one started? I know there's another one in the area they were talking about. But anyways, back to Indigo East. Here's Indigo East. So when On Top of the World was the developer of Indigo East, to give some more moderately priced homes, make more moderately priced homes available to some people, and their classic series homes were built in here. And once they developed this and it got all built out, they went over here to Wayborn Landing, and that's where all the classic series homes are, as well as their cottages and what was the other name for them? I know their cottage series are kind of like villas. So all those, once they built out Indigo East, they went over here to Wayborn Landing. Now, here's your little town square, right? Over here you have the Performing Arts Center, Circle Square Performing Arts Center, and then over here is a facility called the Ranch, and the Ranch is kind of, it's almost like a private club where they have an indoor pool, they have spas, massages, workout facility, and so you can really get pampered over there at the Ranch. So might want to look that up. This is on Top of the World Square. So if you lived over here in Indigo East, you could take a golf cart, and this is your golf cart path right here, over to this area. Now, and then before we leave this screen, this goes through the middle of it. Here's one rec center with a pool, and they have another recreation center with a pool, and this is an outdoor fitness area as well. So they have a lot of their own amenities in here. And then this, you can take a golf cart out of here and go this way, go across 80th, and you can go right on into On Top of the World if you have a sticker to get through. Because you have to join the amenities. So right now, as an example, the amenity fee, or the HOA fee, I should say, is $241. Let me just check and make sure that's for everybody. $241. So yeah, it's up to $241 right there. And then if you want to use the other facilities across the street and on top of the world, you can do that. And you can pay an extra fee. I think it's either $75 or $80 extra a month. And you could use everything that On Top of the World has to offer. So their indoor pool, there are 2 fitness centers, there are 2 recreation centers, the pickleball, it just goes on and on over there. The woodworking shop. So, but these are kind of like what homes look like over in Indigo East and Wayborn Landing. Like I said, once they built out here, so they started around 2006. That's probably one of the original homes. If we keep going, this is 2019. So here's one for 287. Okay. This home is 1,747 square feet living area, built in 2017, $299.9, crown molding. This has a lot to it. Okay. Anyways, enough of that. So, you know me, you can't just ask me one simple question and I'm just going to give you a simple answer. I'm just going to go all through the whole process there. But 241 looks like the HOA fee, the standard HOA fee over there right now. Okay? All right, blow myself back up and go back over here. Let me catch up on my my chats that we have here. Let's see. So Ghost Rider sings, Ghost Riders in. You don't want me to sing. So that is what Indigo East is. Yeah, Ghost Rider, well, you're saying I'm learning guitar self-taught, and that was me probably for going on 2 years on YouTube. YouTube, there you go. I mean, of course I'd be going to YouTube for that. But then there just gets a point where you kind of hit a wall and you just need a little help over that wall. All right, so that's what I'm doing. Gary too. All right, Gary, we can jam when you get here. So Ghost Rider's been at it for a while. Well, then you'd probably blow me away. Okay. The trusty Celsius Renee. Let's see. All right, Gary, we'll get back into it, my man. Nice. So I happen to have inherited my dad's guitar. And that's why I wanted to start playing guitar, because I've had my dad's guitar probably going on over 20 years now. And it is a vintage I believe it's 1947 Martin guitar, a G18 Martin guitar. And so I tried to, and I have a Yamaha. So I have a nice Yamaha guitar, and I have this beautiful vintage Martin. It's worth about $5,000, I guess. 5 or 6, and I went to play it, and I'm like, man, oh man, this is the hardest guitar in the world to play. Well, the more expensive it is, the harder these things are to play. It's kind of crazy. So I went and got new strings for it, and that didn't really help all that much. So I took it to a guitar store. I said, hey, I need somebody to check this thing out. Well, took it to, what is it, the guitar shop? Oh, the Guitar Center. I took it to the Guitar Center. I think they're franchised all over the country, but they couldn't do anything with it. They're like, nah, this is more than what we can do. But they gave me the name of a luthier. So that's what a guitar repair guy is called, a luthier. And so I took it to him, and he's like, oh yeah, it's bowed here, and this nut up here needs to be adjusted, and it needs this, it needs that. I'm gonna need it for 3 or 4 months. I'm like, what? 3 or 4 months? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna have to, he said humidity got to it. I'm like, humidity, it's been in a case forever. It's been in my closet, stuck underneath some clothes, and I'm like, well, anyways, something's got to be done to it. So he's going to take the bow out of it, he said. He's going to put the nut, I mean, should be ready to go. I called him today, believe it or not. It's been 2 months since he's had it. I haven't talked to him in 2 months. And I just reached out to him and I said, hey, kind of give me a little progress report. He said, hey, I'm almost done. I should have it to you in about 2 weeks. I'm like, cool. So I'm kind of anxious to play that guitar. So I have 2 guitars, a Yamaha and that Martin. And my buddy, Jace, I showed him that guitar, and when I brought it into the Guitar Center, everybody was oohing and ahhing over this vintage Martin guitar. So it must be something pretty special in the whole guitar world, because everybody in the store came over to look at it and check it out. Okay, so that's kind of only 2, so I only have 2 guitars. 27 takes you right to the Capitol. There you go. That's what I was saying. You can go up 80th, hit 27, and boom, you're in Tallahassee. And it does. It ends right at the Capitol steps. So that's a pretty cool little tidbit for you. Golf is not included in Stone Creek, right? So I don't know. I mean, really, golf is not included. Well, let me just say this. Golf typically is not included in any community. You're always going to pay extra. Some communities, they make you join the country club, and so for X amount of dollars a year, you have to pay. You're obligated to belong to that country club. In the villages, you have to pay extra for the championship length courses, but then they say that the executive courses are free, but as we know, nothing's ever free. The executive courses really kind of fall underneath the $199 amenity fee that the villages charges for their recreation. So, Del Webb, Spruce Creek, Del Webb, Stone Creek, on top of the world, even the villages with their championship courses. Stonecrest, yeah, any community, pretty much that that golf course or country club is going to be extra. Even Ocala Preserve, which has a really exclusive course, even if you join, you have to spend X amount of dollars every month in the restaurant, or they're going to charge you for it anyway, so you might as well go in there and eat, but it's a 5-star restaurant over there in Ocala Preserve. Wayborn Landing is the area that Gary Winkle is interested in. So he's interested, I think, Gary, I believe you're interested in the Tamar. So there used to be, when I first started bringing people on Top of the World, there were 3 cottage series homes. Man, I wish I could think of the other name for that. Cottage. So you have the classic series, which are the homes, the cottages, which are the villas. But depending on whether you build a cottage, whether you build one of those homes in Wayborn Landing or Longleaf, they're called 2 different things, cottages and, well, I'll think of it anyways. But these have 3 models. The Orion, the Tamar, and one other one. And then they just said, 1. That's it.
How does my have it on there?
Oh, there we well, it says cottage. It says classic. Thank you, Christian. Oh my gosh. So, oh, the carriage series. So, cottage series, carriage series. Same thing. If you look at the floor plans, they're exactly the same here as they are here. And the same names, the Elon, the Orion, the Ramona, the Tamar, and the Ryman. And now they just have Uno, 1, and that's the Tamar. But it's still pretty nice, actually. So they have a stage series. Oh, here's Indigo East. Look. So I've been there since even before Indigo East. So there you have the classic series. So the cottage series and the classic series are built over there in Indigo East. And, oh, and then one for Wayborn Landing. So I have all the, interesting, you know what? Oh, there is a date on here. These prices are from 2020. I'd be interested in knowing what today's prices are 5 years later as to what the base price is. We might have to check that out. Thanks, Christian. Okay, so back to the chats. When was On Top of the World, Spruce Creek and Del Webb started? So, On Top of the World, who asked me that? Uh-oh, it jumped up on me again. Okay, here we are. So, Wayborn Landing is the area I'm interested in. When was On Top of the World? Oh, Glenn asked me that. Spruce Creek and Del Webb. So, Glenn, On Top of the World, I'm going to say was started in mid-'80s as attached units. Let me show you something. So, while we're over here, we can jump on a map. So that's a good question. Right over here. So again, this is Indigo East, right here. Over here is where On Top of the World started. And if you look kind of at it, it looks like darker green than the rest of it. And that's because there's all these oak trees in there. And if you look, you can see these are all oak trees. And these are attached units. So, hold up. So these attached units, sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 5, but that's when they started. And if I was to just go back here, I can tell you, on top of the world, now that would be in Marion, because there are 2 of them. They started one over in Tampa first. Legal subdivision name, Marion. Let's see. On top of the world. On top of the world, 171 matches in on top of the world. Well, it starts off with these Unit B, Unit E, Unit C, Unit D. These are those ones, the originals. When did the originals start? There you go, 83, 84. So mid-80s, like I said. That's when they started. Let's go back here. Okay. So mid-80s is when On Top of the World started. Del Webb. Now, Del Webb is a franchise, or otherwise known as Pulte Homes. I guess somewhere down the line, Pulte Homes bought out the franchise Del Webb, and so Pulte Home is the developer. So Del Webb Spruce Creek, Del Webb Stone Creek, even though you just put Spruce Creek or Stone Creek in your search bar for the MLS, and they'll come up. So Spruce Creek and Del Webb. Spruce Creek is Del Webb. Spruce Creek started in mid-90s and ended in 2006, and then Del Webb Stone Creek started in 2006 to today, and they're still building. Hard to look at other places after visiting the villages. Yep, you know, hey, I get it. And they call it the Adult Disney World. And they don't call it the Adult Disney World for nothing. So I totally get it. And Racer Girl says, that's true. Ira, I found a great guy from the UK that has hundreds of free lessons on YouTube. Oh, hey. Well, if you like him, email me. Ira at imrealty.org. O-R-G. That'd be awesome. Ghost Rider, are you looking to buy in the villages? Well, I guess so, but it's hard to look at other places. So he must be. I keep looking at other 55 plus in Central Florida, but I always end up liking the villages the most. Okay. So actually, Christian, tomorrow's Topic Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
What is Topic Tuesday tomorrow?
New constructions in the communities of Stone Creek, On Top of the World, and Reverie, as well as Crestwind.
And I think we could add Latitude Margaritaville
Okay.
to that as well, because we got to get over there. We have got to contact the developer and ask, get our permission for for that. So, look, you guys, here's the deal. And I'm going to do Topic Tuesday tomorrow. And I'm going to do Topic Tuesday on all these other communities. Because it's just like everybody doesn't just drive a Chevrolet. Some people want a Porsche. Some people want BMWs. Some people want Fords. And that's just the way it is with the villages or any of these other communities. So these other communities thrive for a reason, and that's because Ghost Rider, Renee, Racer Girl, loves the villages. They love all the activities. They love the squares. And so there you go. That's golf cart accessibility, driving around everywhere by golf cart. But listen, the reason I have reached out to other communities because there's a lot of people that just say, whoa, the villages is too big. It's overwhelming, too crowded, too much traffic. So to each their own, you know, like I said, not everybody is just going to drive a Chevrolet and that's it. So the villages is for a lot of people, but the villages is not for everybody. And so I have to offer, as a realtor, options to those that feel like that. So please don't think poorly of me because I'm out there showing other properties and other communities. And just like my man Gary Winkle, he loves On Top of the World. That's more of a fit for him. It's more of a lifestyle. That's more of his kind of lifestyle. And so it is what it is. So there you go. So I'm going to always give everybody an option or a choice and a look at different communities. When I was working for the villages back in 2002, we were selling homes way up in the Marion County area. Man, I used to get people all the time telling me, oh, it's so far from Spanish Springs. Back then, that's all we had was Spanish Springs. There was no Lake Sumter Landing. There was no Brownwood, no Eastport, there wasn't even any homes south of 466. 466, when I started working for the villages, was only a little two-lane road, if anybody knows anything about the villages. A two-lane road, 466. And so, you know, that's, where was I going with that? Anyways, having a senior moment. But that's when I first started working for the village. Oh, so I had people like, oh man, Spanish Springs, you know, the town square is so far away. Even back then, you could not drive your golf cart at night. And that's what I would tell everybody. I would say, hey, you can't drive your golf cart at night, and the square's open at 9 o'clock, so you can't drive your golf cart there anyways, because you're going to get caught by darkness. You can't be driving home in the dark. You get a ticket. So that was back in 2002. People also used to say to me, if the villages was by the ocean, I'd be buying today. I would say I get it, because I'm a beach boy myself from Hollywood Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, Cocoa Beach. I mean, that's where I grew up. I surfed all up and down the coast. And so I'm like, what am I going to say to that when that's exactly, you know, my feelings exactly? So I'm like, hey, I get it. But there you go. You have Latitude Margaritaville, right? Daytona Beach. And you have all the great lifestyle and fun. We haven't been there since the pandemic, and we have got to get back there, and we will. And I'm trying my best to think of the name of that developer. They begin with an M. But we'll have to look up some old emails because we'll get permission to do a video. Actually, you know, Christian, we might even make a little trip out there for Monday Night Live.
To Daytona?
To Daytona. To Latitude Margaritaville. And just see what's up. That would be pretty cool. Show you the lifestyle over there. And it's the LPGA golf course is world renowned. So if you like golf, Latitude Margaritaville does not have a golf course, but they do have the LPGA course right across the street, and I think they have some kind of a deal going with them.
And that beach club on the...
Yeah, they have a great beach club. They have this club, this building, a pavilion and building right on the beach, and a pool. So they have this pavilion and a pool and the beach. And they have shuttles that go back and forth, and they have their own little bar over there in that pavilion. And man, you can go over there and just have a blast. So that's something different. I went when did I go? Last Wednesday to St. Augustine. And oh man, I mean, I looked at some homes in St. Augustine. You guys, man, I might have to just, you know, show you some of these homes. A place called Reverie. Reverie? Do we have that up here?
Up there, no.
R-E-V-I-E-R. Reverie. St. Augustine. Now, this is a 55-plus community. I did not have a chance to go inside this, but let me see. Is this it? Yeah. At Reverie at Trailmark? Okay. So stay tuned for this. I had one of my customers, she wants to move up to this community called Silverleaf Village. So Silverleaf Village is a huge area, but they have some of the most amazing floor plans and models you would ever want to see. Reminded me a little bit of Latitude Margaritaville. So if you're looking for a real special home out of the ordinary, and not just with 10 or 12 foot ceilings, but more like 14 and 18 foot ceilings, and this might be for you. So about our community. So I am going to be showcasing this at some point Do me a favor though. Oh, please, I shouldn't have even said anything. Please do not, if you do, see, I have to register you over here. If you heard about Rivery from me, if I'm to get credit and if I'm to work with you, if you want me to take you up there and show you, if you're here on a lifestyle in the villages and you go, hey, I want to go check out that Rivery up in St. Augustine, it's an hour and a half away from here, but it's a whole day trip. But if you're seriously looking for it, to move and make a move, and you want what they have to offer. It's close to Jacksonville. It's close to the beaches. It's all, man, I mean, you have, what's the name of that? Sawgrass. Is it TPA? Sawgrass? I don't know. It's a championship course up there. But some of these aren't for the faint of heart either. So, but I ran into a builder called David Weekly Homes. I was totally impressed with these homes. They were beautiful. As a contractor, right? I mean, and again, I hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot here, but I'm already registered there as a broker. So if you do happen to call over there, just tell them Ira Miller with IM Realty told you about. So you can see it's not far from the beach. It's not far from Jacksonville, right? It's up here in St. Augustine. St. Augustine is awesome. World Golf Village. So, Trailmark. Trailmark Living? Hold up. Is that Rivery? Oh yeah, so this is where we were. We were all in, this is where, what did I just say it was? Silverleaf Village. This is all Silverleaf Village in here. So, oh, here's Silverleaf. It's a pretty spread out area, but that's where Rivery is. Off to St. John's, oh man, I mean, they got restaurants and it's just pretty cool. Anyways, I don't want to get off in the weeds on this. I was just there all day and I just don't want to get off track too much because this is homes around the villages, right? I don't know if those are homes around the villages. But I'm always looking for something new. I'm always looking for something unique for that distinguished buyer who is just looking for something special. Not that the Villages isn't special. The Villages is special, as a lot of you know. So, but I'm always, I want to be your 55 plus active adult community expert, and so that's why I'm always on the prowl, always looking around, trying to bring different things to you, so when you do retire, you have all the information. I want this to be the one-stop shop, 55 plus, community expert. I want me to be that person. Okay, so I got off track a little bit, and now I'm going to get back on track. And so let's go to Back to our chat. So Becky, we are looking at about 12 to 18 months, maybe sooner, just depends on how the finances go. And what is this? What did you say, Ghost Rider? Realign the neck. Oh, for my guitar. Yeah, he's doing all of that. I mean, the guy's charged me $600 to redo this guitar. So you can only imagine how much work is going into this guitar for that kind of money. But, like I said, he had to put it in a humidor or something. I don't know. He said he just had to do a lot to it, which I believe. You know, I'm not going to say he's not, and it's not worth it. So, realign the neck. Gary says Martins are the best, in my opinion, well, especially these vintage, antique Martin guitars. So, you know, hey, I have to take care of this thing. I'm the caretaker. At that point, you really have to feel like, well, I don't own it, even though I do own it, but it's a work of art. It's a piece of history. So you're more of a caretaker at that point of something like that, and it only gets more valuable. So yeah, that's why I said this 1947. I thought it was a 43 and a 45, but I believe this guy Mike told me, based on the serial number, that it was made in 1947. All right, so let's see. I'm always open to many. Let me see. Let me go back. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. So Martin's. Let me go. It actually turns right at the Capitol. Okay. I think it's called Terra now. Is your guitar a D28? It's a D18. I just looked at it. I looked at my receipt. So it said a D18. I'm going to actually check that out. I'm pretty sure. A D18 Martin is what I believe that is. So, woof. That's a 1937. Mine's a 47. So this doesn't say. My brother thought it was like worth $40,000, and like, no, it's not worth that much. This doesn't even say what year it was. Does it? No. Anyways, we can really get off in the weeds with this stuff, right? Here's an Amazon. Wish D18 cent. And, you know, it's whatever the year is, I guess, right? This is the 37. Where's the 47? 1947. Anyway, here. Well, heck, what am I doing? Maybe I can just narrow it down to that. 1947. 1947 D18 Martin guitar. Sweetwater. Oh, 17 grand. Oof. Whoa. Well, they got kind of pricey up there, I think. That's interesting. Anyways, don't rob me, everybody. It's under lock and key, and two big, huge dogs are guarding it. So it's not the Tierra at Wayborn starts at. Oh, you're talking about the Tierra? No, it's the Tamar. I don't know, Gary. You know what? They could have easily changed the name on me again. These communities just love to change the name of these homes, just to keep us on our toes. The more I look at the older sections of the villages, the more I like it. So Becky, here's my suggestion. Rent for 3 or 4 months. Get used to where you think you might like living, but rent first. Get acclimated, get used to the area, and just decide from there rather than jumping in to something like that. That's what my suggestion would be. And then there's Ghost Rider. We're focusing between the sixes. So love that phrase. So many people tell me, I want to be between the sixes, which, you know, is kind of where a lot of people like, because they're close to Brownwood, close to Lake Sumter Landing. And I think Lake Sumter Landing is still the favorite right now. No, Latitude Margaritaville. Where is that? Oh my goodness. So, I'll tell you. No, I'll show you. So as always, I gotta go here because this map is so much better than this other map over here. This map is the map. All right. So this is going to be great. It's going to give you, we're going to go, woof. All right. So want to give you an idea where it's at. The Villages is right here. Okay. You can go up Highway 42. 42 goes all the way to 44, and 44 goes to DeLand, and then we go to, here's 40. See this? This is the LPGA golf course, as you can see, LPGA right here. And this is Latitude Margaritaville, right here. And they have a little, this is their little shopping center here. They have a dog park. Where's the dog park? That dog park, I think it might be here. Maybe not. Looks like construction there. But here is the town square for Margaritaville. So this is called what I call resort style living. True resort style living. They have, where's their square at? Oh, here it is. So this is their square. They have music underneath this, I don't want to call it a band shell, but it's a stage where they have music. But this is what Latitude Margaritaville looks like. See all the pickleball courts, tennis courts. What's this? I don't know what that is. That's indoor something. But this is where me and Christian need to take a little bit of a... Now, a lot of this stuff was already here. You can find some old videos on my channel back in 2019, 2018. that where we were here. But we didn't keep up because there were so many people. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I guess were they still building? I guess so. Let me see here. This says Lincoln Park, Lost Shaker. So this still has to be part of Margaritaville. I imagine this is also where they're building. So they'll still be building in here. Building here. So maybe we need to get over there to see if they're still. And then, like I said, this is the LPGA golf course. Oh, and so there's the beach. And so I'm wondering, it looks to me like this is all Latitude Margaritaville too. It just looks like it's contiguous all in here. But so you would take your little shuttle over to US, probably, let's see, I guess they would take maybe that shuttle to here. And then that little beach place is, let me see if I can, I think this is it? No, because there's a big parking lot in front of it. Is this it? No. These are some really expensive homes in there. So that's Highway 40. I know, get a little bit closer. Is this it? No, I don't think. This might be it here, because it looks like a lot of parking, but let me go up a little bit, see if it's up here. Neptune. These look like all houses. Anyways, it's in there. I think I just showed it to you. These all look like houses, and I don't think it's that far north. But yeah, you're right on the beach. You have a pool, and just like all these houses, so you could be enjoying. It's a bigger pool than that. Anyways, check out our video. And our video might even show you exactly where it is. But I know it's not too far off of Highway 40 here. So anyways, I don't want to spend the whole hour or the whole time. But that's where Latitude Margaritaville is. It's not far at all off of I-95. And you have your interchange here, the LPGA interchange, and it's right here. This is all Latitude Margaritaville. And their sales office is right here. Yeah, this is their sales office here. This is the Humane Society, actually. But Latitude Margaritaville, their sales office, this is it right here, right off the interstate. And then if you go there and talk to somebody, they will, they'll bring you over here and they'll give you a little tour of the community. Okay? So that's about an hour and a half there, or an hour and a half to St. Augustine. That doesn't seem right, does it? But maybe St. Augustine might be a little bit further away from the villages. Okay, so back to where we were, and let's go back to our chat room. Okay. Let me just get a hold. I knew it. Okay. Where we at? I'm just messing it up here. Okay, where is that? I don't know. We're not, oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, you're doing your job showing different communities in Miami. That's what I'm doing. So you have a choice. I'm here to give you all your options. And then you go, hey, I like the villages. I like here. I like there. I like there. So that's what we're here for. Yeah. Becky says, I'm always open to many suggestions. However, it would be much easier if I wasn't married to a retired golf professional. This is true. Plenty of golf here in the villages. You have to find your happy place. My happy places happen to be the villages. Cool. Different strokes for different folks. So let me, again, I'm the curator of information of all. Is that a frog?
Maybe a frog.
So whatever your concern is, I would suggest you come here and stay a while. If you're concerned with traffic or crowds or anything like that, come and stay in the wintertime. If you're concerned about the heat, come and stay in the summertime. So anyways, you know, here's one thing I can tell you. If you're talking about golf, a lot of people here get a little upset with all the seasonal people, renters that come, because this golf here in the villages is based on a points system. The more golf you play, the more points you get. That isn't a good thing. I had somebody the other day, I said, yeah, well, the more golf you play, the more points you get. Oh, wow, so that means if you've got a lot of points, then, you know, you get your choice of tee times because you play a lot of golf, you have a lot of points. I'm like, no, that's not the way it works. Those people with the most points fall to the bottom. The ones with no points are up at the top, and that upsets a lot of people, especially full-time residents here who play golf all the time, and they feel like they're being penalized because they accumulate all these points, and then somebody seasonal comes along and gets all the tee times. So just food for thought. Like I said, I'm just here to give you all the information. I like the options of other places too. Being single, I'm flexible. Don't worry. Don't forget the Buc-ee's. Is it raining?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. All right, I want to be able to go to the grocery store in a golf cart. Well, you can do that from a lot of places, Becky. You can do it from on top of the world. You can do it from the villages. You can do it from Latitude Margaritaville, Rivery. Is that whole community is golf cart accessible. Everybody's catching on to the golf cart thing. That whole Silverleaf Village area, golf carts. And it's pretty big. I don't know if it's as big as the villages, but it's pretty big. It's not as big as the villages, but it's pretty big. Well, Buc-ee's. 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 I know they're supposed to be building a Buc-ee's in Ocala. I don't think there's a Buc-ee's on I-10, is there, Gary? Unless they're gonna build one.
I've heard of one near St. Augustine and one.
Okay, Gary says, yeah, they're building one near Ocala. Okay, yes, they are.
The Ocala one should be the second largest Buc-ee's.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was going to be the largest, but then they started a new one that's even larger in Texas.
Oh, wow. So Christian says the Ocala one was supposed to be the largest Buc-ee's, but now they're building one in Texas, and you know what they say about Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So, of course, they had to beat out the Florida one. Can you put in the link? Can you put the link in the chat for, what's that, Becky? What link would you like? Yeah, TPC, Sawgrass. That's up there in St. Augustine. Oh, thank you. She says, I wouldn't go without you. Thank you very much. Oh. Okay, all right. Oh, thank you, Becky. Wouldn't trust anyone else. Oh, thank you, Jane. I love you guys. Thanks so much. That's what my whole livelihood is all about, is people who trust me, and even here in the villages. I've told everybody, and I was on the phone today, a guy was saying, hey, I've been calling my rep in the villages, and she never calls me back. And I said, well, look, for 0.5%, you can hire me to be your single agent, and I can take and show you whatever you want to see. And I can't write the contract for you, but I can definitely do walkthroughs with you, go through the contract with you, do the initial walkthrough, do the walkthrough before closing. We'll use one of my inspectors instead of one of the village's inspectors, because I've heard some horror stories about that too, about these inspectors missing all this stuff and people are suffering for it. Anyways, yeah, TPC. So anyways, so that's why I think you're safe with me. And I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to tell you what I think, just based on some of the conversation of what we talk about. Because I've had people come in here in my office, and they're like, and we're talking for about an hour, and then they go, well, so what do you think? You think maybe we should go over and see On Top of the World? I'm like, no. Everything you've told me and how much you love the villages, why are you now thinking about going to On Top of the World when I'm telling you everything you've told me? I know the villages is for you. You haven't told me one negative thing about the villages, so this is where you need to be. So that's the nice thing about, I'm your real estate psychologist, and I'll listen to you. And I can pretty much tell you if we need to be going looking somewhere else or we need to be staying here in the villages. Ira, in your opinion, if we've never visited the villages before or others, when is the best time to come and look around? Man, Becky, that is a great question. That's a great question. When is the best? I would say January or February. Come to the villages and look around January or February, because that's going to be the time of year where, well, A, you're out of the cold up north, but B, you're down here at the busiest time of the year, and you can decide for yourself if that's for you. Me personally, being from Fort Lauderdale, I left Fort Lauderdale in the mid-'80s, around 1990 actually, because I just couldn't take it anymore, especially in the wintertime. I could not, I just didn't want to deal with all the traffic, all the people, all the waiting time in the grocery stores, in the restaurants. I mean, I'm just like, I'm done. And I started migrating north along the coast. And I went from Fort Lauderdale, I went to Pompano, I went to Palm Bay, went to Melbourne, went to Cocoa Beach. And then I came into Ocala, and I was going to be here for 6 months and head back to Cocoa. Messed around, got married. Never made it back. So, that's kind of, I would say, yeah, January and February. Because those of us that have been in the villages for years and years and years, as you know, I've been here 25 years. In October, we can tell people are starting to come down in October. And then November, and it picks up in November and December. And then January and February and March. And then April, people start to leave in April. And then May and June. So that's kind of how it goes. So if you're cool with that, I know a lot of people aren't. I know a lot of people are, So you just really should come and experience the villages in the wintertime. The summertime, forget about it. In the summertime, everybody's like, I wonder how hot it is. You know what? It's not any hotter here than it is where you are. In June, July, August, September, it is not any hotter here. Probably in some cases it's cooler. Why? Because we're a peninsula that goes out into the ocean. So the ocean breezes keep our temperature moderate, right? I'm looking at the temperatures up there in the hundreds, and I'm like, what? And then people tell me, I talk to people all the time from all over the country. It's humid where I come from. It's humid in Michigan. It's humid in Rhode Island. It's humid in Connecticut. It's humid in New Jersey, New York. And you're dealing with the hot up there, and so it's no different here than it is where you are. I tell people it's hotter longer. So maybe this is mid-May. What's the temperatures? Well, that's not fair now because it's 79 degrees. Let's say 77. But that's because it's raining.
I'd say mid-80s it's been, at least the past week.
Yeah, average is mid-80s in May. That's cool, that's tolerable. So June, July, August, September. So there you go. Wintertime, Becky, January, February. February is probably the peak of the season. But a lot of people just come for 3 months, January, February, and March. A lot of people come January, February, March. A lot of people who own rental homes only want people who are coming for 3 months. They don't want to deal with 1-monthers and having to clean it and then go through all that again. No. So a lot of people are But you'll find monthly ones, here, there. um, it's hot, but less people, and it's only $99 a night. But see, that's Ghost Rider. You're missing the point. It's hot, but less people. Like I said, it's not any hotter here than it is wherever you're from. But you're trying to experience, I think, the masses, right? So that's what I'm trying to get across. Pardon me, I'm negotiating a contract here. All right, come on. That's a frog.
Must have gotten closer.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, you guys. Let me catch back up here. I was thinking that because it gives a real taste of the real heat of summer. I'm telling you, Becky, I wouldn't steer you wrong. You're not going to experience it any hotter here than where you're, well, I don't know where you're at, so I guess I really can't say that. You might be up in the Adirondack Mountains or the Poconos or something, so, and enjoying that mountain air. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm just telling you what a lot of people tell me who come from all those states I just mentioned, that it's not any hotter here than it is up there, or any more humid here than it is up there. So I'm just giving you years and years and years of experience of what people tell me. But check it out. Hey, come in the summer and the winter. Twice. That would be cool. So you can try that. Okay, October, November. See, October and November, temperatures are great. Not all the people are here. So October and November is like, that's the sweet spot to me. That's the best time of the whole year. If you just want to experience comfortable temperatures, lower volume of people, that's the best time of the year. But if you're really trying to get a good idea and a good taste of an experience, I'm just suggesting what I suggested. Even at 95, 20 miles an hour on the golf cart, it isn't bad. This is true. Let's see, I don't mind the heat. My doctors are advising me to move. That's the biggest motivation. I have a pretty serious autoimmune disease. Ooh, sorry to hear that. And yeah, you know what? You're not the first person that's told me something like that. The doctor suggested you move to Florida. I mean, and the whole thing is you're active all year long. And it's bright, sunshiny skies. From what a lot of people tell me, up north, it's gray and overcast all winter long. So your D3, your vitamin D3 suffers immensely because of the gray skies, and you get that, what's that, SADS, seasonally
affected depression?
Seasonal something deficiency. anyways. During the heat of the day, we go back to the house, eat lunch, and relax before we hit the town square. See, that is key to Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider just revealed that he is all about the squares. So that's why he is Mr. Villages, because that's what he wants. He wants to experience the town squares. Ghost Rider, are you here? Well, you know, but see, let me just tell you, when you're here for 1, 2, or 3 months out of the year, you're all about this, you know, the party. You're here to party, you're here to have fun, you're here to hit the squares, you're here to do all the fun stuff. You're here to have fun. When you live here full time, it's totally different than what somebody is here 3 months out of the year. Trust me, I'm telling you some good stuff. 1, 2, or 3 months out of the year, yeah. But when you live here full time, it's a whole different, trying to think of the word, but it's a whole different lifestyle if you're here full time or if you're here just 1, 2, or 3 months out of the year. Totally different. So yeah, people like the Ghost Rider. Man, see, in the heat of the day, we go to the house, we eat lunch, we relax before we hit the square. You know, he's having a great time. That's what it's all about. That's, you know, that's life, right? You're here to have fun, especially in the wintertime. You get out of the cold and you're just... So that's what, but he says during the heat of the day, though, we go back to the house. So I'm kind of almost leaning towards Ghost Rider's wife as a teacher. It might be off all summer long. So they come to the villages in the summertime while she's out of school. I've seen that a lot. And so now they're still only here for 3 months out of the year. It's different. It's very different. And one of the reasons it's very different too is because you join a bunch of groups. You join card clubs, you join ceramics, you join dance clubs, you join pickleball clubs, you join all these clubs. And so you're doing all the recreational activity thing. You're not really doing the square entertainment party scene anymore, right? You're just living life on life's terms, and that's what I see most people who live here 12 months out of the year. Full-time, priority, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, it's just a whole different ball game. How much more is a home insurance being close to the beach? Oh yeah, you're probably looking at about, probably Margaritaville, I'd say you're probably looking at about $4,000. Maybe 5, I don't know, that's a good question. We'll have to ask that when we go there. Wrestler Mania, man, 7:15, where you been, my man? He's probably over there on his own channel, living it up. And now he's here. Thank you, Wrestler, for been waiting for you. Where you been? To tell everybody to subscribe, hit that notification icon. So, decided no overtime today, so I had to be here to show our support for Ira. So thank you. Oh, Sonny. All right. Joining late today. Sonny, better late than never, right? That's what they say. There you go. I like golf and get involved. Now, golfing in the summertime, that's tough. You got to go out early. Because you will sweat your butt off. And dinner cooked by Skip, what a deal. So, absolutely, that's written into all the contracts, wrestler. I will give you free snow removal. Any time of the year you just call. We're out there shoveling. If I'm not out there, I'll send Christian. He'll come out with his snow shovel.
Mr. Snowplow.
Ah, she worked in a school and now retired. So how do you do it, Ghost Rider? How do you get away? Then you must work from home. So I want to do more walking to stay in shape so I can collect more on that pension. Where are the drinking clubs? You found one of them, Racer Girl, in City Fire, I guess. Gainesville Market, do you go up there? Yes, we go everywhere. Like I was saying earlier, we were in St. Augustine last Wednesday. So, all right, so Ghost Rider is cool with the heat. Oh man, I was out in Dallas one time in the summertime. Belonged to a karate school called JUCO Kai. Look it up. And so the master of JUCO Kai, Soka, we called him, he lived out in Dallas, and we all went out there to Dallas to see Soka and get some one-on-one training, because he's the one that actually developed that karate style called JUCO Kai. And yeah, man. 55 communities you recommend in Gainesville. Well, so actually, I don't know of any 55 plus communities. Active adult is key, okay? So there may be some 55 plus communities up there with no activities. And I'm pretty much your active adult community expert. And I don't know of any 55 plus AAC, active adult communities, up there that provide all the activities that we talk about around here in the villages, on top of the world, Del Webb, Stone Creek. Those are the only ones that I know of and have heard of that you might be interested in. Bye, Missy Mo. Love you. Thank you for joining tonight. I'll have to join or form a Prius club. That's great, Gary. I work in a prison. So, dude, how do you get away to come here to the villages as much as it sounds like you're here? Because you must have a lot of time off built up. That's great. How do we get you as our realtor? One of your crew called me, but I want you. You can have, okay, well, just tell them. Just say, look, you know, I'd like to work with Ira. Ask him to please call me. And then that's it. I'll call you. We'll talk. And we'll see what it is that give some kind of direction. And or come in. I mean, I invite people here to my office all the time, and people will come in, we'll talk for an hour, hour and a half. I'll get to know you, you get to know me. I find out what your interests are, what your likes and dislikes are, and go from there. So you can definitely just request to work with me, and we're there. So Miss, Mr. Mr. Wrestler Mania. That's a little much, Missy. It says no CDD fees. That is true. Community Development District, those are CDDs that the villages has, and that's why they are advertising no CDD fees to bring people up to there to avoid the bonds and the maintenance fees that are associated with CDD or Community Development District fees, which are added to your taxes here in the villages. We go 2 weeks at a time. How much? Well, I guess that's getting a little too personal. But man, like I said, you probably have a lot of vacation time built up, right? There you go. Christian hooked you up. Now, where is Dell? Dell, you might get my assistant, Blakely, and just tell Blakely hi. Talked to Ira on Monday Night Live, and I wanted to ask him to please call me. Or make an appointment to come in and talk with me, or whatever. Blakely's my girl. You see this? I only have 2 arms, but I have 4 now because I actually have 6 because I have Christian.
It's like an insect.
There you go. Is it an ant? Is what, 6 or 8?
6. Spiders are 8.
Gotcha. So I'm an ant. There you go. So that's all you got to do. Talk to Blakely, and she will hook you up. Okay? But just let her know who you are. How far west in the state do you need to go to get away from flood insurance? Well, you know what? Flood insurance is you only have to pay flood insurance we're in a flood zone. So really, I mean, there's places a couple miles from, I'll give you one, the village of Citrus Hills. They have a very high elevation, and they're maybe, I don't know, 10 miles at most to the Gulf, to the West Coast. So yeah, only, there's designated flood zone areas. And that's where I always kind of tell everybody where the villages are going these days. There's a lot of flood zone, a lot of wetlands. But that was one of my Topic Tuesdays. So you might want to check that. But yeah, flood zones, you can get pretty close to the coast and you're still, you're not affected by flood zones or wetlands. You just have to just look and see. I mean, I can definitely, when you come in, if you were to come in, or if I talk to you over the phone, I can direct you to the flood zone map, the wetlands map. Just to give you a little example, if we were to go to my MLS, and I don't know, I did a search for homes. By the way, 689 matches. The inventory's going down, guys. It was over 700. So there's an indicator. We didn't get a chance to do our market analysis, but wow, holy cow. Look at, oh, no wonder, 25. Let's do 100. 500. So let's pick this one right here. 2013, Countryside Path. I can go to See where it says flood map? I can go here. And we can pretty much figure out where flood zones are. Let's see. If I do this, and this, and this, let's say over here. All right, let's zoom in. I wonder if we can. So these are wetlands. You see all that? AE. We can pretty much tell where the flood zones are. Because right down, see where, let's see, where does it say that? Flood zone X, but where did it say about AE? A and AE, these are flood zones and wetlands. Only the X, the area with X, the orange areas are where you want to build. So I have to zoom out. I'm sorry, I have to zoom in to be able to determine the flood zones. Okay. So we can just kind of go. All right, so just to prove a point too, let's see, I can go over to the coast and Duval Island. See over here all this X? Let me zoom out and see. Oh, well. Okay, here we are. See, there is a lot. So all this right here is all wetlands and flood zone. Homosassa Springs, Crystal River. But these are all tributaries going out to the Gulf out here, right? But if you kind of zoom in, see all the X's areas? And you are not far from, so now you are. But, I mean, you're in the Gulf now. This is all Gulf stuff. So, but I just wanted to prove a point. You can get pretty close to the Gulf and you're out of the flood zone. Okay? Let's see. So there we are. All right. So, Skip doesn't do no guitar lessons. Yeah, Phil Wrestler was talking bad about me. Yeah, well, I'm glad you joined us, Skip, because he was saying you're going to cook dinner for everybody. Let's see. So let me go back here. Okay, we'll do. Was Vincent that called me? Okay, so Vincent. Del, just so you know, Vincent is what's called my lead coordinator guy. So he helps me out by contacting people, and he's pretty much there to say, hey, we're just reaching out. Is there anything we can do for you? And would you like to talk to Ira? Do you want Ira to help you with anything? But that's what Vincent does. He's a real estate agent. He's learning, and his best learning experience is reaching out to people, because I want him to get used to reaching out and talking to people, because he's going to need that in his real estate career. So that's why I've developed a position for new agents just like that. But he's only there to help me to reach out, because I am kind of busy, and so we don't want to not be in touch with everybody. But all you have to do is ask, hey, whoops, I'm sitting here talking away. So, I'm sorry. So all you have to do is ask Vincent, can you ask Ira to call me? And he'll text me, he'll email me, whatever, or he'll tell Blakely. But that's my crew, that's my gang. I do have other agents in the office. I have Ted. I have Kirk, I have Vincent, I have Shannon, and so if by chance I'm not available and you want to go out and look at homes, we're here to serve, right? So if you go out and look at a home and then you say, hey, I would really like Ira to check this home out because I know he's experienced in home inspection, he's experienced in contracting, he's experienced as a real estate broker, I'm there for you. I'm gonna go out there and check it all out and give you my opinion. But if you're kind of like, and I encourage, if you find a home that you really, really like and you're interested, we don't want to drag our feet on that, right? We want to get out there and check it out right away. So that's why I'll have somebody, I might even have Blakely, my assistant. She's not even licensed, but she's allowed to go open up a door for you, let you go in, let you look at it, see if that's something you like, come back, get with me, and then later on, I'll go check it out for you and then tell you what I think. So that's kind of, we're a team. You know, we work as a team, and we're here as a team, and we're here to help you. We're here to serve you in any single way that we can. So there you go. So yes, Becky, I do it all the time. So as far as showing homes in the VLS, here's my situation. I'll kind of go over it. If it's one or two homes, yeah, I'll call the agent. Hey, can you go open this home up for me? I have somebody who's interested who would like to see this home. We'll go over there and we'll go look at the home, see what you think. I try to give you as much customer service as I can, and don't want to leave anything out. Now, if there's 5 or 6 homes, then that's when we kind of, renegotiate this deal, because at that point, I'll probably have to have an agent who I trust over at the Villages to show you all those homes. But again, if you hire me, I will be with you on that tour with that Villages agent. I'll look at all the homes with you together. If you want to write a contract on one of them, I'll go ahead and read over the contract and go over the contract with you. And then we'll hire our own home inspector, not one the Villages recommends. Don't trust them. Only because I've seen, some horror stories. And then do a walkthrough day before closing. We want to make sure that home is still in the same condition that you saw it in, that you purchased it in. And then I'll be with you at closing. So that's what I do for a mere 0.5% of the selling price, 0.5%. But you're hiring me as your single agent. Villages agents never act in the capacity as a single agent for a buyer. They're either a transaction agent or they're the seller's agent, but they're never a single agent for the buyer. Just remember that. Hi, son. Hi, the Villages, Skip Smith. Let's see. Oh, wrestler. That's. Okay, so yeah. Recommend you buy flood insurance even if you're not on a flood zone. So Becky, I believe, is in insurance. So, and Becky, I think you would also agree to buy wind damage, a wind damage rider on your insurance policy. That's what I tell everybody. Rami, OMG. Wow. Man. I haven't seen you. I guess I got to stay on till after 8 o'clock to get Rami to come visit me. Because it's been a while. It has been a hot minute, as the kids say. Skip's in the house. Maybe he came to tell us dinner's ready. Yeah, that's what we hear. We hear that Skip is going to cook dinner for everybody. Uh-oh. Smokers are a yes, yes. They're not a no, no. All right, yes, Del, come and see me when you get down here. That'd be great. So I'm just skimming over some of our chats here, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Let's see, email sent about guitar lesson. Oh, thank you, Ghost Rider, I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I can't remember, Lauren, what is Lauren's last name? She is on YouTube, Lauren, shoot. But I watch her a lot for the guitar lessons. Lauren Bateman. Lauren Bateman is who I first started. She's really, and she's kind of, she'll even tell you she works with seniors a lot and teaching them guitar. So, all right, so I guess, are you out of here, Mr. Townsend?
Well, I was just making sure you had all your equipment together.
So, ding, that's the microwave. Let's see, I'm gotta kind of go over everything, make sure I didn't leave anybody out here. Becky, are you smoking something? Sure, you can have that as long as you invite me to come. Yeah, any communities that offer larger lot size, but maybe 2,000 square foot home with a pool. Tell that guy I'm still working. Any communities that offer larger lot size, but maybe 2,000 square foot house with a pool, is it hard to find? No, not really. So, I'll tell you the lot sizes are larger on top of the world in Del Webb, Stone Creek than what they are here in the villages. A standard home site in the villages is 60 by 90. A standard home site in those two other communities on top of the world in Stone Creek, just to name a couple, are 90 by 110, 120. I mean, not 90, 60 by 60 by 110, 120, I would say. They're deeper, they're larger. Grass. These guys are a riot. Smoked vegetables. Wow. I heard smoked vegetables are really good, especially smoked carrots. Put them in a bun, you'll never know the difference. Yes, sir, I am. Smoked portobello mushrooms are really, After 10 years full-time so far, 2 kitchen stoves, working on our 4th microwave, and replaced my roof 3 days ago. Wow. Man. Lauren Bateman. There you go, Gary. Yes. Justin Guitar on YouTube. Justin. I'm sure I kind of came across him. Brian. Skip, how old were you with the shingles on your house before you had to change it? 10 years old. Wow. And why did you have to change them, Skip? Was it because you had hail damage? All right, well, Wrestler Mania, thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate the mention of the subscribe and the thumbs up and all of that good stuff. You're the man. You always help me out when you come on. I appreciate that. So, signing off for you. Come back next week. And Pat, you are most welcome for the comic relief. Yeah, Becky, we're all going to be coming over to your house for that smoked pork butt. Everyone, before you go, there you go. You're the man. Thank you so much, Wrestler. Bye-bye. If we're going to be snowbirds, are there services that will take care of pool? Oh, yeah, absolutely. And check on the house for sure. Yes, we have people that will do that for you. What age they usually say 15 years is the cutoff. I don't know why Skip had to change his at 10 years. Although, there's a lot of roofers that will come along and say you have hail damage. The insurance company will send somebody over there to inspect it, and if you truly do, boom, they'll give you a new roof. So there you go. But usually 15 years, they don't like to see anything more than 15 years, although those are 35-year shingles, and until really a lot of what happened was roofers came along and they found this loophole, and they were scammers. It used to be sinkhole scammers. Sinkholes, guys would come out. You had a little depression in the yard where a dead tree kind of just sunk in after a while. It's just dead and rotted. Oh, you got a sinkhole? Get the insurance company to do a underpinning all the way around the house. That scam went on for about 5 years. Then I called it a roofing scam simply because you might not have a leak. You probably don't have a leak. Your roof's only 10, 15 years old. It's a 35-year shingle. And even today, if you do the peel and stick underlayment with, you can get shingles that are 50 years. You can get lifetime warranty on some of these. So to say that now, here's a suggestion. If your insurance company says, hey, you have a 15-year-old roof, you need to change it, you need to get a new roof, tell your insurance company, say, look, send your inspector out to my house. Your inspector needs to inspect my roof if you're going to tell me that I need to buy a new roof. They will send an inspector out there, and that inspector will go up there and he'll tell the insurance company, hey, it's good for another 5 years. It's good for another 10 years. So that's a little secret for you. I know people that have done that. Tell your insurance company they have inspectors, they have adjusters, they have inspectors. Tell them, look, don't just tell me because my roof is 12, 14, 15 years old that I need a new roof. Because, yeah, that's easy for them to say. and then you're footing the bill for a new roof, and then they're protected. You go, no, 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 no. Send your adjuster, send your inspector out to look my roof over and tell me I need a new roof. And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, if you haven't had any problems with your roof, you don't need a new roof. And they'll go ahead and they'll say, okay, we'll see you in 5 years or whatever. And then do it again in 5 years. So, but I'm telling you, shingles are typically good for, at least 20 to 25 years if it's a 35-year shingle. But like I said, honestly, I haven't seen much hail here in Florida. And these roofers will say, oh yeah, you have hail damage. Well, if you have hail damage, here's the deal too. An insurance company is stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if they come over there and they tell you, hey, look, your shingle is 15 years old, you need to get a new roof, I'd say 75% of people will go ahead and go get a new roof, or else, because the insurance company's going to tell them, or we're going to either drop you or we're going to go up in your rates. You tell them, send an adjuster, an inspector over to inspect that roof to see if it does need it, because it's a 35-year rated roof. And if they say, oh yeah, well, it's damaged, you need a new roof, they have to pay for it. So they're not going to want to pay for a new roof for you. That's not what they're doing. They're just trying to get you to buy a new roof, so their hands are free now, The clock starts all over again for them. So I'm telling you, do that. That's good information. Ramai says, metal roofs are one and done. Christian, if you want to leave, buddy, you can go.
That's fine.
Let's see here. Everyone, before you go, we're gonna be snowbirds. So yeah, don't worry about that. We can help you out. A lot of times I'll go over there personally myself, like once a month. If you want, flush me or Blakely, depends on because chances are we're going to be around your house showing homes anyways, so we might as well just drop in real quick, check it out, flush the toilets, make sure there's still water in it, So we'll do that for you. Becky, I love to throw parties. Yay. Certainteed had some factory defects, and I was one of them. Okay, well, there you go. There was a recall then. Hopefully, Skip, they didn't just give you new shingles, but they paid for the labor as well. That's where they kind of get you. Oh my gosh, Becky, you're a defect. So yeah, you know what? That was in the late 80s, but I'm going to tell you around 2004 or 5 or 6, here in the villages, there was a big problem with shingles, and man, everybody was getting a new roof back then. I'm a nightmare for insurance agents, I'll bet. Wonder if you can sneak in a metal roof with new style. Wonder if you could sneak in a metal roof with new style. So they're talking about metal shingles and concrete tile. And yes, they are good. Well, I always known them to be good for 50 years here in Florida, but boy, they're about twice as expensive too. Ghost Rider, you talking to metal shingles? I like that. Metal shingles. I mean, I've heard of metal panels, not metal shingles. Okay, nope, free shingles, I paid everything. Oh, okay, see, yeah. That's where they get you. They say there's a recall or something, or, yeah, they're at fault for defective shingles, but yet, when it comes to replacing them, you're stuck with the labor. So, that's tough. No, it's probably over $5,000 anyway, probably 5 or 6 for labor, at least. 12, yeah. Because a new roof, like what the house Skip has, it's probably 15 grand. Those shingles are only $3,000 or $4,000 just for maybe 5. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, that's exactly where I was going, Becky. They have shingles now that are solar panels. And that's the way I think I would go if the next time I get a new roof. I'm going to look at those solar shingles. So the whole roof is a solar panel. But, you know, I mean, if you get solar panels rather than the solar shingles, good solar panels are up around 50 grand, right? So if you do your whole roof as solar tiles, I think you're way ahead of the game. Yeah, it took me 2 months to get ARC approval myself. There is no incentive to do a grid. I guess that's tiled system anymore. It's really a loser to a great degree. How about a nuclear containment bill? Gary, that's great. Well, this has really been fun tonight. I'm not gonna sit there and skip. I looked at the Tesla roof on the village's website. They said yes, but check first. I'm wondering how much the solar grid tied. Solar grid, is it tiled or tied? Let's look. Solar grid tie inverter. Tied. Yeah, it's tied, I guess. Should you get solar, renewable energy, solar power, solar system types, grid tied, off-grid, and hybrid. Interesting. What is grid-tied solar system? Oh, okay, well that looks pretty cool. Yeah, there you go, look. Those are all solar panels. Oh, I get it, so it's tied to the electric system. All right, so let's see. Here's the thing that I've seen a lot. All right, so it feeds energy back, it feeds energy back into the grid. But the people that I've talked to that have solar panels actually are being charged like, I don't know, $25 to $40 a month by the power company regardless. And then they have solar panels that they're paying for on a monthly basis. So I haven't heard lately of any. So I used to hear about times when they would pay you, the power company would pay you for producing power back into the grid, so they could provide it to other people. But I haven't heard that lately. It seems like they might have got off that plan where you still have to pay them regardless of having solar panels or not. So, Dell 417 regarding HOA, is it better to get one that is pricey but includes all, or go with something like Villages where you pay for each thing yourself? Is mowing, irrigation, internet, etc. They do have one where you don't have. Here's my feeling on that. I don't like the fact that I have a home where they do the lawn, because if they don't do it in a timely manner when I want it done, if they don't spray for weeds, if they don't spray fertilizer, if they don't spray for insects, or cut the bushes when I want them to, and they're going to charge you so much for it anyways, I would say stay away from that. Stay away from where they do your lawn for you, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't like. It's more expensive, I think, too, if you have them do it as a convenience. So my suggestion is get your neighbor's lawn guy to do your lawn. So when he does your neighbor, he's doing yours, and your neighbor will hold them accountable, right? Your neighbor's your watchdog for your house. So that's an easy fix there. Just get your neighbor's lawn guy, and that your neighbor's gonna let his lawn guy just, if you're not there all year long, your neighbor's gonna definitely keep him accountable. Becky, without government incentives, it's a real loser, and now the kilowatt reimbursement is very low, 10 cents a kilowatt now, not market. Okay, so I mean, like I said, I've even heard it worse, where they're charging you still just for having solar panels, which I don't see that being fair, but okay, big money if you have to change your roof out. Backfeeding. Yeah, back in the day, they used to pay you. They'd cut you a check for providing all that power. I don't think it's like that anymore. Things have changed. So, Rami, that's good information. There's no incentive to do a grid-tied system anymore. It's really a loser to a great degree. And that's too bad that things happen like that. It was really a good thing when you would have to pay for this solar system, but you're sending energy back into the grid, and they would pay you and help you pay for that solar. Plus, you're not paying an electric bill. But you know, it's. I mean, I get tired of industries scamming us, changing the rules when things look really great. All of a sudden, they're changing it around now where it's to their advantage. That sucks. If we're looking for a less busy area, what would you suggest? You know, since you're asking me about Gainesville, Del, I would say Del Webb Stone Creek. So get with me. We'll go check out On Top of the World. We'll check out Del Webb Stone Creek. Might even go over to Villages of Citrus Hills. That's a pretty cool place. It just depends on what you're looking to get out of a community, and that's why I kind of like to really have a nice little chat with my new customers, so I can determine based on my knowledge where I think you would fit the best. But I think we really need to have a nice little talk. So if we can possibly do it here in my office, face to face, that's even better, because then I can go on my computer and pull things up and just kind of show you, kind of like I do here on Monday nights sometime. So thanks, Brian, about the great advice. What is the local electric company in the Villages? There's Duke, and there's also Seco. So there's two power companies, Duke and Seco. All right, you guys, 8:30, I have to get Mr. Townsend. He's on overtime after 8 o'clock. So I need to get my man home here. I'm sure his food's getting cold. What are we having tonight?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Crunchies and munchies.
Oh, yeah. Love crunchies and munchies. Yeah, SECO. That's right, Ramai. Yeah, SECO. Sumter Electric Co-op is what SECO stands for. They're almost built out, Brian, so there's only so many lots left, and I'd say by the end of the year, they're going to be pretty well built out. You won't have to worry about that. So you guys, man, what a great chat we had tonight. I love it. I love it. Skip, thank you for joining us tonight. Ramai, you're the man. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure having you guys on. Wrestler's gone, but I love having him too. Del, I really appreciate the great questions. That's what I have this for. It's for people like you to ask these awesome questions that I can help you with. So if you want to continue the chat, call us up. Christian will put our number in here right at the end here. You can give us a call. And Becky, there you go, Skip. But Becky, thank you for all the information, all the chats, for being engaged. I love it. I appreciate it. You guys are what makes this fun and makes Monday Night Live successful. So thank you all. Looking forward to seeing you next week. And then if you want to join us for Topic Tuesday tomorrow at 1 p.m., we're going to have a Topic Tuesday and probably hit up on some more optional communities to think about like we did tonight. We'll kind of further that discussion a little bit more, okay? So again, all y'all, thank you. Oh, Jane, I thought you bailed on me. Thank you for hanging in there. So looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 1 or next Monday at 6 o'clock. And then anybody else, give me a call. I'd love to make an appointment, call, text, Zoom, whatever. We got it all locked down right here. So thanks again. Love y'all. Appreciate the conversation tonight, and we'll see you either tomorrow